welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back. It's Bottom of the Stream, and we're here to trawl the Netflix stream to try and find another hidden gem of a movie.
We are indeed. I like it when you say the big long ahoys at the beginning.
Okay.
That's where I always end our theme tune, in the middle of your ahoy.
Oh,
so when you do the
go.
short one, it's quite difficult to do. Also, you said bottom of the stream.
I did. I don't know where my T's went.
Your T's went weird. Yeah, we're doing another movie show. We're here to do the shortest movie we've ever done on the show. I'm calling that. I've not researched it, but I'm absolutely positive
It's pretty much got to be. I think we've had a couple that are sort of 75 minutes.
Yeah, we had what last week's was 82, wasn't it? That was 112.
But this one has come out at just over an hour.
65 minutes.
Now, we have mentioned this before, certainly in a Discord. I don't know if we mentioned it on the show, but a feature film is a feature film if it's over about 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's 42 minutes or something.
Yeah, so
like
this
that.
is well in the...
This is a feature film.
It's not even close.
Well,
It's like 50% more than you
Yeah.
need to have to be a feature.
But it's also shorter than some TV episodes.
It is. Now that Netflix makes, I don't know, your Stranger Things an hour and a half
true.
long
most,
per episode.
Most films are shorter than TV episodes these days. So yeah, this week we're talking about a movie called Girlfriend's Day.
And also, just before we get into, I will say this, I know that this has been on our list. This is probably one of our longest,
I think it's an original. I think it's been on the list for 4 years.
pretty much, if not right at the start, for certainly the majority of our existence as a podcast,
Yeah.
this has been on the long list.
Agreed, it's just
and
never
has
come out
never
before.
come out.
But it did come out last week.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So we've done it, we've watched it, and we're now going to talk about it. So this film is Girlfriend's Day. It was released in 2017. It's a 15. As we said, it runs for 1 hour and 5 minutes. Currently rated at 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb and is a Netflix original. 5.2.
I mean,
Very much dead in the middle.
it's... Do you think the length plays a part in that rating?
I think length always plays a part.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think people probably wanted a bit more out of it because it's very shallow. Not shallow in the fact that it's shallow. There's not much depth to the story, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, but yes, and I'm sure we'll get into it. But and hence the question, because is that a shallowness because there's not enough there in the writing, or is that shallowness there because it's only an hour long and you can only do so much?
I wonder why it's only an hour long.
Yeah, because I think you could
Easily.
We'll get into like the universe that they've created, but there's a movie here.
It felt
When I said there's a movie here, clearly there's a movie here, but there's a 90-minute movie here. I
Yeah,
think.
I think so. It felt like I was watching the pilot of a TV show. I felt like you could go anywhere with it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into that more, I guess, as we go through. This film, anyway, it stars a guy called Bob Odenkirk, who plays a character called Ray. You will know Bob Odenkirk unless you live under a rock. He was in Breaking Bad. He then starred in his own spin-off prequel called Better Call Saul. Sequel/prequel. I guess it was both.
It was both.
He's also in a film called Nobody.
Made him a box office star.
Did make him a box office star, and it's a wonderful movie. It's great. I love Nobody. And he started his career, did a lot of writing on Saturday Night Live. And he was in a lot of episodes of Saturday Night Live.
His own sketch show back in the day with David Cross.
David Cross, indeed. David Cross, whose wife is Amber Tamblyn, who plays Jill in this movie. The love interest of Bob Odenkirk.
It's good to work with your friends.
I didn't know where I knew Amber Tamblyn from.
Okay.
And I still don't really.
But I know the name.
Yes.
I'm like, that's a...
She was in The Ring.
Yeah.
And she's in... Her most famous role is in Joan of Arcadia.
Okay.
She played Joan in Joan of Arcadia, which was a
that
TV
was a show for a few years.
A couple of years, yeah. But it's one of those names that you know, but I don't really know how I know her.
Fine.
That make sense?
Sure.
Also, this film stars Stacey Keach. He plays a character called Gundy. He's one of these guys, again, you're going to know him.
Another face. I was
He's
just
been
like...
in everything.
Yeah. 100%.
Most famous role was Escape from LA.
Yeah.
He was in that. He's in The Bourne Legacy.
Yes.
He was in Nebraska. I know him personally. He was the governor of the prison in Prison Break.
Yep.
The TV show. So that's where I know him from. This film was written by 3 people. Eric Hoffman, Bob Odenkirk, and Philip Zlarakinski.
Okay. Good.
Thank you. And directed by a guy called Michael Paul Stephenson, who has only ever directed 2 other movies before this. One was called Attack of the Murder Hornets.
Sure.
Which sounds like a lot of fun.
It
and
really
might go
does.
on the watch-along list. And also a movie called The Best Worst Movie.
Okay.
He's a B-movie director. Literally, in one case, B-movies. Thanks.
What done?
Anyway, do you have a one-word review of Girlfriend's Day, Nick?
Greetings.
Greetings. It's about greetings cards
Yeah.
companies. And in fact, the very first thing that comes on the screen is greetings from the greetings industry.
It does.
That's how the movie starts. And it's basically...
I've just put, let's learn some greetings card facts.
Yes.
That's what my note says.
Exactly. So that's where does this movie start, Nick? That's where it starts. It's basically, it's a $3 billion industry in the United States, according to this video. It's basically a company video, isn't it? Selling the company to people. It's just telling us a history of greeting cards in the UK. And we meet Ray for the first time. Ray is a greeting card writer. He writes greeting cards for a living.
He's a self-described poet.
Yes, he's talking to his colleagues in the staff canteen, isn't he? And he describes himself as a poet. He's telling stories to them.
Yeah.
But what he actually does is just writes one-liners for greeting cards.
But he's in a romance business.
Yes, he only writes romance cards.
And I think right off the bat, we've got to state that the concept of this movie is it's definitely on what I like to call the Cobra Kai.
That's exactly how I was going to describe it.
Way of thinking, in that we are in a world where the most important thing in the world is greetings cards.
Yes.
Everyone,
these are like celebrities.
They're celebrities because they write cards because everyone loves cards. Even cards are on the news.
Yeah.
It's
big.
And if you go with that, I'm like, right, I know what this is straight away.
It's like Cobra Kai. Everything is karate in Cobra Kai. The whole world revolves around it. In this, it's greeting cards.
Yeah.
But you do right. You do have to suspend your disbelief and just go with it. And if you do, I think you're in for a decent time. Ray talks about how he wrote the top Valentine's Day card 3 years in a row.
He was top of the game.
Top of the game. This was 10 years ago, though.
Yeah.
So he's on the downward slide in the industry. Let's put it that way. Whilst he's talking to his colleagues in the staff canteen, he gets a call that his boss wants to see him. And he goes into the boss's office and he starts pitching some pretty terrible ideas at his boss straight away.
Like a money tree in the card.
Yeah, like putting dollars in the cards and things. And he gets fired. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
His boss says, look, this isn't working anymore. You're out. You're done. Get out. So he puts up a little bit of protest, but eventually he does leave and he heads over to the local bar.
First, he has to hand in his greetings card guild membership.
Yes.
And his boss tears it up in front of him, and you see Ray's heart break.
It's like he's tearing his heart up.
And there was quite a few exchanges I liked. Like when he's talking to his colleagues at the start, and they're asking oh, what happened to Taft?
Yeah,
he's this guy. He was top of the game.
He was the
as
best
well.
ever.
What happened to him?
King of it.
And one of them says, "Oh, he quit to write a novel." And Ray says, "Yeah, well, cards are more challenging than novels.
Yeah,
you don't have to edit in novels." And it's just like this whole idea that the best job that anyone in this world could have is writing cards.
Greeting cards.
It appealed to my sense of humour.
There's a thing as well that there's never any pictures on these greeting cards.
No.
It's only a folded piece of cardboard with typed words on it.
Yeah.
That's what these cards are in this world. There's nothing else on there. But anyway, he gets fired. He goes over to this local bar to have a few drinks,
and
drown his sorrows.
It's a card writer's bar. You know how in the shows you'll have like a cop bar and a fireman's bar. This is just for people in the greetings card industry. Yeah,
but it's crazy. When you look at it, it's crazy. When he's in the bar, he meets up with Taft, who's also having a drink in the bar, and they talk about how he started writing this novel.
And Taft's like, "Oh, I think I want back in the greetings card industry."
Yeah, because he's like, "I've only written 3," and he's like, "What? 3 chapters? 3 paragraphs?" He's like, "Words."
Yeah,
I've written 3 words. So he's thinking of getting back into the game, and Ray's like, "No, stay out of the game. It's not the industry that you loved before. It's different."
And Ray goes home to be sad.
Yes, and I like the line when Taft leaves. He's like, "Never write for anyone, always write for someone."
Yeah,
I like that. That was cool. And he goes back to be sad in his sad little apartment. That's the page of my notes again.
And that's when the titles hit. Probably. Percentage-wise, a significant portion of the way into this film.
Yeah, quite a long way into this movie. Then there's a very bizarre scene.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about this. Just got back to it in my notes.
He falls asleep at his desk. He's like, at his it's like a typewriter but smaller.
Yes.
And he has a dream, and he dreams of a giant owl fucking his ex-wife.
Yeah, he's woken by the moaning of a lady enjoying herself, I guess, into the bedroom, and his wife is being boned by a hairy bird demon.
Yes. It makes sense now I've seen the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But when I wrote that note, it made no sense whatsoever.
Obviously, Ray wakes up, really, this time.
Yes.
This is a dream.
This is a dream. And he wakes up, he's drunk, I suppose.
Yeah.
There's an owl outside. It's not the hairy bum demon.
I said bird demon, not
sorry.
bum demon.
I don't know why I said bum. I know why I said bum because it's my next note. He's a drunk and he watches bum fight videos on YouTube.
This is 3 months later.
Oh, was it 3 months? I'd missed that bit. Apologies. He watches bum fight videos on YouTube.
Volume 3.
Volume 3. This used to be a thing back when the internet became a thing, I think.
Yeah.
And the people used to pay tramps to fight each other and people used to watch it on the internet. Then there's a knock at the door. And it's his landlord. And he wants his rent.
Yes.
His landlord also was in Breaking Bad.
Yes, I did.
Gomez from Breaking Bad. And instead of paying rent, he decides...
Well, Ray says, I can't pay.
Yeah, I've got no money. I've not worked for 3 months.
I've lost my job. And Ray's... He's got his hand in a cast.
Yeah.
So when... he punched the wall, hadn't he, when he got sacked?
I'll take your word for it. I was all the way through thinking, where the fuck's that gas come from?
And Ray says, I've torn a tendon.
Okay.
And I can't write. I can't make money. This is my...
That's my writing hand.
Yeah.
So
the landlord's like, no, you got to pay.
You've got to pay your rent. Or you can look after my nephew.
Yeah.
Who's
got
come
this
to
kid
visit.
in tow for the summer.
So then for most of the rest of the movie now,
this kid's just
following him around. So he takes him to the local park.
The landlord's like, I want to go to the track. I can't take the kid to the track.
Yeah. So you take him to the park.
Yeah.
And we'll let you off your rent for this month. So he does. They go to the park. He discusses like love with this kid, and it's
they're bonding, and Ray, it's the first person Ray can talk to properly, and it's quite cute. I wanted more of this kid in this movie.
Yeah, he's not in it enough because the few lines he has are quite funny.
Yeah, and that's easily one way this could have been a 90-minute long movie. The relationship between the kid and Ray could have been explored a bit more.
I don't understand why it isn't a 90-minute movie.
No,
I don't understand why they've cut it here.
They talk about life.
Yeah, they do. They talk about life. There's a girl crying in the park, and the kid's like, "Why's she crying?" And he's like, "It's probably love." But there's somebody watching them through binoculars.
Yeah.
So we're confused by that.
Spying on them.
Then later that day, he goes to the bar, meets up with his ex-colleagues.
And they say, Ray, the boss he'll be here.
Yeah, Stephenson.
And
wants
Ray
to talk
says,
to you.
why is he here? He says, well, because we told him you'd be here because you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, we knew you'd be here, and he wants to talk with you. He wants to meet with you. And they go and they have a meeting in the toilets.
Yeah.
They have like a shady toilet meeting.
And again, the joke hadn't worn thin on me, and it's just like they're doing a drugs deal or something really dodgy. But he's just saying,
about greeting cards.
Yeah, he's just like, I want you to write this card.
Yeah.
It's on the lowdown. Just don't tell anyone. Secret project. I'll pay you in cash.
Yeah. You're the best in the business.
It's just got to have the word girlfriend in it.
Yeah, so you can't really talk about you can't talk about love. You can't talk about wives. You've just got to talk about girlfriends.
Yeah.
And
he pays Ray a wad of cash.
Big wad of cash.
Here's your advance.
Fine, I'll
He's
give
like,
it a go.
I know you can do it. You used to be the best.
Yeah. He gets home. He gets ready to write. He can't write. He's got writer's block
and a broken hand. Torn tendon. Yeah, in his writing hand.
So he doesn't write. He can't write. He goes back to the bar and discusses having writer's block with the barman for a bit. And
the barman's like, "Wow, can you remember the first card?
Yeah,
that you wrote?"
Talks about a Mother's Day card that he wrote to his mum just before she died, and all this. Then there's like a poetry performance going on.
Yeah, slam poetry night.
Yeah,
because poetry / people just reading out their cards.
Yeah,
because it's all about cards.
It's all about cards and all about poetry.
And the ladies go wild.
Yeah,
for it.
The guy who's performing, he gets all the ladies.
Star.
Yeah, it's stupid, but it's funny. And then on the TV, a news reporter goes on, which is a bottom of the stream trope.
Yeah.
Even in short movies. And it's the governor. The governor of the town has announced a new holiday called Girlfriend's Day.
Yeah.
So we're kind of getting a bit of like, we know why he wanted this card. And there's going to be a contest to write the most romantic card for Girlfriend's Day. Yeah. But it's only for amateurs and out-of-work professionals.
Yeah. Very specific.
So do you think this is why Ray got fired in the first place, so he could be an
Maybe.
out-of-work professional,
What,
so he could write the
because his
card.
boss knew that this was coming
Yeah.
up. Maybe, yeah.
That was my first thought to it.
I liked as well when his colleague was wingmanning him at
Yes.
the bar with the ladies. He's like, "Oh, this is Ray. He's the Bill Shakespeare of romance cards."
Yeah.
But he just cuts him off because he's
Not interested.
Depressed
He's sad and depressed, and he's got to go meet his ex-wife. So he goes to meet his ex-wife because they have shared custody of their cat.
Yes, yes, they have it a week on
Week off each.
And Ray says to his other friend, "Oh, I haven't written anything good since I broke up with my wife."
Yeah, and his wife left him for a guy who draws owl pictures
on cards.
Makes
Optimistic Owl,
the optimistic owl,
who's like very popular.
Yeah, you see those sort of cards now, don't you? With like just pictures of owls and stuff on them. Hence the reason for the owl fucking his ex-wife in the dream earlier.
Before we go on any further into the movie, let's take a pause for a minute. So, if Girlfriend's Day was to be a holiday, what time of the year would we put it?
Ooh,
what
question?
Is there a gap in the calendar for a Girlfriend's Day, Boyfriend's Day? What time of the year do you reckon? You've already got Valentine's Day. That's in February.
You've got Valentine's Day in February, haven't you? Then you've got Easter in April time.
Yeah.
And then you have quite a big gap through the summer.
You got Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Yeah.
Do you just put it in that summery period somewhere?
And then you go into like Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah. August.
The big gap is somewhere around July, August, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe September. I feel like September's a good month for Girlfriend's Day.
Okay. Today,
September the 14th.
The 14th of September.
Yeah.
Sticks in everyone's brain.
Day after my mum's birthday.
Okay.
Weird thing to say. They goes back to the bar after that, and he meets up with Jill.
Sure.
Who is a girl who recognises him.
She says, "Are you
the
card guy?
You Ray the card guy."
Yeah.
She's like, she hangs out at this bar to meet card people. She's like a card groupie.
She is.
And he gets all like flattered that she recognises him. And he goes home.
He spots her tattoo.
Yes.
And she's got like a rip-off version of Optimistic
like a parody
Owl.
Yeah.
So he's getting like pissed on.
Yeah. Which he really likes.
Yeah.
So he goes home. He still can't write. He's still trying to write. So the next day he goes to a card shop for inspiration.
Yeah.
Goes looking at other cards and sees if he gets some inspiration. And what a coincidence. Jill works there.
She does.
Did he know this, or was this a coincidence?
No, I think it was a coincidence.
I think it was a coincidence.
And she says, "I hate Optimistic Owl."
She hates it.
She's
not
derivative.
a fan. Yeah, she's not a fan of Optimistic Owl. They go for a bit of a walk. He tries to ask her out, and
she's basically a girl version of Ray.
Yes.
Basically. And yes, they walk and talk.
He tries to ask her out, and before he gets a chance, she kisses him on the mouth.
Yeah, she tells him, "You need your feelings back before you can write about them."
Yeah. Then he goes that night. He goes to his old workplace. Pees in the plant in the office.
Because his boss said, "Yeah, you can go back into the office, use the place, get your stuff out,
take your old stuff, your old notepads.
But you've got to go after hours because remember, this is a totally secret squirrel mission."
Yeah, off the record. And so he does. He grabs all of his stuff. He has a pee in the plant.
Yeah, he pisses in the boss's plant.
And he can hear some noises downstairs in the actual factory area.
Yeah, but there's a whole printing press and stuff downstairs.
So you're going to hear noises and things. But he goes to investigate anyway. And as he's just about to give up on, there's nothing down there, a bloody handprint appears at the window.
Yeah.
And it's Taft, his old colleague, who's been stabbed quite violently.
He staggers in through the door and he's fair to say he is gushing.
Yeah. So Ray pulls the knife out, tries to help Taft. And as he's doing that, somebody knocks him out from behind.
Yeah, Taft has a couple of final words. He says, "Paper hearts, I love you." And then, he seems to die.
He is no more.
And Ray's knocked out.
Ray's knocked out from behind. We don't see who knocks him out. He wakes up on a sofa.
Yeah.
And the guy who is there with him is Detective Miller, homicide.
Yeah.
He's there. He's just being a big, scary policeman. He's a big old dude, this guy. And Ray doesn't really understand what's going on.
No.
He's very confused.
But Ray's first thing is to, like, he basically bites back at the detective and he's like, oh, you're a big guy. Have you got a small dick? And so he gets punched in the mouth
He
again.
does. He gets punched in the throat.
Yeah.
He's like, you punch him in the throat. And then the detective tells Ray that Taft's body's been found in a river this morning.
Yeah.
And he is dead.
With no organs, basically.
Yeah. His organs are replaced by water, I think he says. And this detective says, I want you to write a card that will open my girl's legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, that she's mad for that shit.
It's like being blackmailed into writing this card. I've written here, he's being miseried. He's being blackmailed into writing somebody's.
And the detective says, if you don't do it,
yeah,
I've got a bloody shirt in this evidence bag.
Yeah, because he was helping out.
It's yours.
Yeah.
And I've got a blade. And let's just say, you're going down for this.
Yeah, he's going to set him up. So he's got to do it. He's got no choice.
So he's now got two people asking him to write this card.
The same card.
Yeah.
He goes to a bar. He leaves the detective at this point, goes to the bar. His colleagues are there. They find out it's on the news that Taft's been murdered.
Legendary
it says
card
killed him.
writer.
They said suicide.
Yeah.
At this point, it's being reported as suicide. But yeah, this legendary guy, it's on the news that this guy's killed himself. Goes home. Landlord's there. He wants his rent again.
Just as he's leaving, Jill walks into the bar.
Oh, yes.
And she gives him his number. Gives him her number.
Yes.
And she's like, do you want to stay? Should we have a drink? And he's like, no, I've some bad news.
Yeah, bad night.
Another time.
Not drinking tonight. Goes home. His landlord knocks on the door. He wants his rent. And Ray's like, I can't give you any rent. I'll look after the kid again.
Yeah.
He's like, the kid's gone home.
Yeah.
It's not here
Gone
anymore.
back to his mum.
The kid. So Ray says, well, why don't you do a yard sale with all my stuff?
Yeah.
And I'll just
live
live here.
like, what? You mean take it out? And
He's
Ray's like, no, just price everything up
in here and
in
people
this
can buy
flat.
it.
But I get to still live here.
Yeah,
amongst it.
As things go, it goes.
And the landlord's like, you're crazy. Just no, forget about it. Ray says, no, it could be a living showroom.
Yes. It works. Why not? Go for it. He then goes to meet up with his friend. I didn't catch his friend's name that he meets up with. And he says, look, I think... Oh, they're at the funeral, aren't they? They're at Taft's funeral.
Yeah.
And they're kind of standing at the back. And he says, I think Taft's been murdered.
He basically says there's a conspiracy.
And I think it's connected to
holiday.
Girlfriend's Day. And he also tells his ex-boss that same theory.
He says, I think Taft was working on a Girlfriend's Day card.
Yeah. But he's not buying it. So then he goes to see Taft's wife.
Well, no, I think this was at the wake.
Yeah, it was. They were in the house, but he goes to see his wife.
He goes through Taft's stuff in his office.
Yeah, and she catches
the wife
him.
turns up.
Who was the wife?
Natasha Lyonne.
Natasha Lyonne. 4th appearance on Bottom of the Stream for Natasha Lyonne.
And probably never more than a few minutes at a time.
No. I think the first one, when she was in that Handsome and Netflix, she was like the second main character in that. But she's like, I don't think anybody's done 4.
I can't.
I don't think anybody's done 4. I think she's the first. So they have a bit of a flirt as well, don't they?
Oh, she's clearly coming
on.
Because again, she's really into card guys.
Yeah, she loves card guys. She's another card groupie.
But she tells him Taft was working for the Paper Hearts card company.
He then meets up with a fake... Well, I've written fake detective here, but I don't think he was it? I think he was just in somebody's pocket.
It was the same guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the same guy.
Yeah,
but I got the impression that he wasn't a real detective at that point.
Yeah.
But I think he was just being paid off by somebody.
Yeah, Ray was considering whether to take things further with Taft's wife, and over her shoulder he could then see Miller in a car spying on him. So, because he says to the wife, "Can I use your back door?" And she's like, "What? That's a bit forward, isn't it?" And he's like, "No. Can I use your actual back door?" And all of a sudden, we get a flash of like why Bob Odenkirk was cast
in Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah, I think this is exactly the reason.
He just punches the living shit out of Detective Miller.
He does with his plaster cast,
and the plaster cast is disintegrating as he's pummeling him.
Yeah. I
was like, this is a sudden burst of violence in this movie. Pulls him out of the car, and the detective says, "Okay, I'm working for this Gundy guy, who owns Paper Hearts."
And then what happened to him at the end? Did he get somebody knock him out again? He woke up on a bench with 2 goons.
Yeah, he got knocked out by 2 hoodlums.
2 hoodlums knock him out from behind, and he wakes up on this bench in this like stately home kind of place.
He's outside. He's sort of approaches the home, doesn't he? And he gets knocked out by two former racists.
Yeah, they're not racist anymore. I quite like.
They're still covered in like swastikas
Yeah.
and all these extremist tattoos, but they say no, we're former racist, we're reformed. He says it's. They say. So racist. What do you mean you're reformed? You're not racist anymore? And they say no. It was too much work to hate a whole race full of people.
Yeah.
They say we're elitists now.
Yeah.
We only hate people who think they're better than others.
Yeah, they're against elitists.
Yeah.
They don't like people who think they're better than
Yeah.
anybody else. I think their slogan was "Nobody better than nobody,"
Yeah.
which I thought was quite good.
I just thought, again, I was like, what a great idea.
Yeah,
And I just thought we could do more with
you
these
could have a whole
characters.
movie on those two.
Yeah.
Just on those two. Anyway, it gets taken up through this big house
By a butler.
by a butler, all the way through these different corridors and
Yeah.
rooms. It goes on for ages. It's
And
quite
yeah,
fun.
it's a joke about, it's through this door, through this door.
Yeah,
goes
through this
on for ages.
vestibule, and
Yeah.
and he eventually meets up with Robert Gundy.
Yeah.
Who has in his office framed the first ever greeting card.
Yeah.
That Napoleon sent to his mother.
And Gundy says, there's two Gundys.
Yes.
Which is why we've been a bit confused so far. But
Yes.
we get the sort of explanation here. This Gundy, I think, is the elder brother.
Yes.
Who owns AAA greetings cards.
Yes.
Whereas his brother owns Paper Hearts.
Yeah.
And basically they're both fighting to
They're rival.
to write the best girlfriend's
Yeah,
day
they're
card.
rival greeting cards.
Yeah.
So
And Taft was writing for Paper Hearts.
yeah. And this guy's AAA.
Yeah.
And this guy basically says, "Look, you need to write this card.
Yeah.
I need you to write this card. You're the best in the
He used to be
business.
there.
I need you to write this card." So everybody's trying to get. That's 3 people now trying to get into.
He's eating a plate of liver and beets.
Yeah, it's his favourite meal apparently.
And Gundy knows all about Ray.
Yeah, he knows everything.
it's
He
him
even
who-
knows about his relationship with
Because
Jill.
he's got Detective Miller on
Yeah.
the payroll.
Yes. So he then gets shown out of Gundy's office and goes home. Everything
just
in his
says-
flat's now got a price tag on.
Yeah, he just
I
says,
thought it was quite
write
funny.
the card, Ray.
Yeah, write the card, right? Come on. So yeah, everything in his flat's got a price
Yeah, the
tag on.
home
Even
yard
his
sale is
even his smashed
up and
wedding
running.
photos up for $25. Then he goes to see Jill in her house. They sleep together.
They do.
They have an evening of passion together, and he goes home.
Well, in the morning, or after they've done the naughty,
Yeah.
they're in bed and Ray says, I think I might be unstuck.
Yes, you've unstuck me.
I can feel feelings.
So he goes home, and do you know what he does?
So, I know, just before he goes home, she says to him, write the card, Ray.
Yeah. Everybody keeps saying this to him.
Yeah.
So he goes home, and guess what he does?
Get suited, booted,
Yeah, even has a little flower
Puts
in his
his
lapel,
kit on.
and he writes the card.
Yeah.
He goes to show it to his mate, and his mate reads it, fills up, and says, "You did it.
Yeah.
You've done it."
God
So
damn it, Ray, you did it.
yeah, goes to see his old boss at the office, and gives him a blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "What you doing? This is a blank
And
piece
Ray
of paper.
sort of opens his jacket and he says, it's in here.
You're not having it."
He says, it's not for you, it's for the person I love.
Yeah.
He's like,
Closes his jacket, traps the guy's hand in a glitter machine.
Oh, he does,
Which I
yeah.
thought was very funny. And he goes to see Jill.
yeah, she opens the door.
Yeah.
Just instantly you can tell she's being weird.
Something's not right with Jill. He doesn't notice though. He shows her the card. She seems to love the card,
She's moved.
but then she says, "You should go."
Yeah.
And he doesn't go. And Detective Miller opens the door.
And
He's
he
got
has
a
her at
bandage all
gunpoint.
over his face and
Yeah.
everything. It's quite funny. And he's holding her at gunpoint.
He reads the card.
He reads the card. He takes the card, reads the card.
And Miller just says, Ray, you're a piece of shit. It's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good.
But whilst he's reading the card, Ray's regrouping and bangs Detective Miller out again.
Yeah.
Knocks him out, pushes him to the floor. His face explodes with blood. And Ray's like, sets the card on fire.
Yeah, he burns it in a fire.
Yeah. And then Gundy's goons, the two
Ex-racists.
ex-racists, they burst in. They're too late as well. The card's on fire. They're after this card.
Yeah.
They've heard that he's got it.
One of them gets a paper cut, trying to pick it up.
Yeah. So
And they take Ray and Jill.
they take them, yeah. And they take them to this like cabin somewhere and hold them hostage.
Yeah.
Because Ray still got the card in his head. He still
Yeah.
knows what it says. And
Yeah,
they're trying
but they
to get it
have
out
like
of
a
him.
revelation, don't they? Because
Yeah.
ex-racist one's like, what are we going to do? He burnt the card. How are we going to get that? And ex-racist 2 just goes, well, it's still in his head.
Yeah, it's still... Yeah, it's only like 4 words. So they start paper cutting him.
Yeah, that's their
So
torture.
that's his torture.
They cut the hand webbing of Ray, don't
Yeah.
they?
Then Ray calls Jill a whore for some reason.
Because he's starting to. One of them let slip that she basically is on the payroll.
Yeah, she's all of her is fake as well.
Yeah,
she's being paid by the same guys.
And one of the racists punches him because he's like, "We're not having that language.
Nobody's better than nobody."
We've got standards.
Yeah. Then Gundy comes in, and he won't give Gundy the card either. Ray's like, "No, you're not having this card. It is mine." Because of Taft, he's like, "You killed Taft. It must be you. It had to be
and
you."
he basically says it.
And he basically agrees. Yeah, I did.
And there's a bit more swearing, and Gundy says, "There's children here.
Yeah.
Don't use that language." And everyone's like, "What? Where? Where's a kid?"
It's the second time.
Girl runs through
It's
the
the second time that's been used because that same thing happened when the nephew showed up.
Yeah.
It's like the landlord told him off. Yeah, this little girl runs in, and that turns out was that Jill's daughter.
Yeah, well, she runs in and hugs Auntie Jill.
Yeah,
because it's nominally this is Gundy's daughter.
Yeah,
and the ex-racists take her out of the way, and it quickly is revealed that actually Jill is the girl's mum.
Yeah,
and Jill is Gundy's niece.
Yes.
She was married to his nephew.
Yeah,
who was basically went down the path of drugs and was a loser.
It's all very confusing.
Yeah.
Gundy points the gun at Jill, and he's about to shoot her. He's going to kill her.
She's not family.
Yeah.
The little girl is mine. I will bring her up. I'm not having my daughter, in inverted commas, but knowing that her father was a drug addict and her mother's a whore.
Yeah. Just before Gundy's about to shoot Jill, he gets shot himself in the shoulder by
one of the
ex-racist goon number 2 because nobody's better than nobody. Nobody talks like that.
Written on the wall in the hideout.
And then we cut to Ray kind of narrating himself, and he's like, "After all that, I gave them the card." And then you get a montage of people receiving the card and getting all welled up. It's all different couples.
Gundy's on the news with his arm in a sling,
sort
of revealing the card to the town.
Yeah. So, and they've got this one of his colleagues is the guy who won now because they've given it to him. And everybody's like, all these couples are receiving the card. And it's not just girlfriends. There's men receiving it. There's kids receiving it to parents. There's all sorts going on. Cut away. Ray's now giving driving lessons. He's kind of gone out of the business.
He's got you kind of get the impression he just writes for fun now because he's got a little desk, but it's in the garage of his new house.
Yeah.
And he's a driving instructor.
He's driving instructor.
Which is what his friend said before. Just go and get a normal job, like a driving instructor.
Yeah, get out of the business. And he pulls over the car that the kid that he's teaching pulls over the car, and there's a bum fiddling through the trash can.
Yeah.
And he pulls...
Shitfoot.
Yeah, it's the guy from the bum fights from earlier. And he pulls out a card, and it's the card with some cash inside.
Yeah.
And that is how you film
he smiles.
Yeah. That's how you film it, with a happy tramp.
Shitfoot.
Thoughts?
It's odd, isn't it?
Yes.
Because I liked it.
I did as well.
I thought it had some great lines. Where's the rest of it?
I feel like so much has been left on the table or off the table.
Like, I like the sort of noir genre anyway.
Yeah.
And I think setting a proper good sort of noir crime mystery, which this was.
Yeah.
In everyone, I love the concept that everyone takes greeting cards. That could be anything.
Yeah.
Whatever industry you want. Yeah. Something, it's a relatively minor thing. And it's the most important thing in all these people's worlds. That is set up right at the start, and boy, do they follow it through. And I think it's a really nice gimmick. And I just think there's enough here to have another half an hour, and you've got a really good film.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like a lot of characters were shortchanged. A lot of the stories were left on the table.
Yeah.
And it
left
like
me
a
wanting
proof
more.
Of
concept,
it is. It's like a pilot.
Yeah.
It's like a pilot to a longer movie. It's like, here's your teaser. Now there's another hour somewhere.
But it just makes you think there can't not have been another 20 minutes on the cutting room floor.
I don't get it. I don't understand why this has happened. It felt like an overlong sketch when it shouldn't have. It should have felt like you could really flesh this out and really get into the depths of the bad guys and the good guys. And
yeah.
There's a real world here. But it just doesn't. It really fell a bit flat because there's no development.
What's up there is good.
Yeah.
Odenkirk is great.
As always.
yeah, like you say, there was so much more. We could have explored the relationship with the kid, his ex-wife. That's one scene.
Yeah, she's only in one scene.
Um,
The optimistic owl guy, he was great.
yeah, that's Andy Richter, wasn't it? Yeah. Again, one
bit
scene.
more of him. Yeah.
I mean, Jill's only in 4 scenes. For crying out loud.
Exactly. Bob Odenkirk's in all of them, and he's still not in it enough.
Was it Stacey Keach who plays?
Yes.
Gundy.
Good
villain.
2 scenes.
2 scenes.
Yeah.
But ominous and like threatening, and yeah, there's another 20 minutes.
It definitely left me wanting more.
Yeah.
And the fact that there isn't more is frustrating because I wanted more from this. So that marks it down a little bit for me.
And it's like, obviously, I'm not comparing it directly, but it's got a whiff of that sort of Big Lebowski-ness about it, hasn't it? And in the sort of, it's a heisty, crimey, gangstery thing set in a stupid world of.
That's a good point. It really has.
Yeah, and it's that sort of influence. So I enjoyed it. But I wanted more.
Yeah, the same. That's exactly how I left it. But I could have done with another half an hour at least of that.
Yeah,
maybe even 45 minutes. Yeah, it's a shame.
It wasn't long enough for the gimmick to start to get old for me.
No.
So, and I appreciate that might be a fine line for some people. You might go, well, this is stupid. I can't get on board with it. But even
it is really stupid.
Yeah.
It genuinely is really stupid.
Even another 15 to 20 minutes make this a movie length.
Yeah.
And I think we'd be pretty high on it. That's my gut
I agree.
feeling.
I think you're right. I think that's what I would change about it. I think it's the obvious change to make, and I don't understand why they've not.
No,
that's what's scaring me.
What I also thought was interesting about it is it's only a couple of times, but it's deeper than my preconceptions before I started this was it maybe because I could see it was an hour and 5 minutes long was like, well, this might be quite fluffy and but it's not.
No,
and there is a proper sort of mystery to the story, and then there's just a couple of scenes where it's actually I was like, where's that violence come from? Like when Taft is pouring with blood.
Yeah.
And then, when Ray just lights up on Detective Miller.
Twice.
Yeah.
And it really feels like that. They are scenes cut straight from nobody. It's crazy. But again, it happened. It's seconds.
Yeah, but that heaviness I wasn't expecting.
I wasn't. When I saw it was an hour and 5 minutes, I was expecting it to be a silly little comedy.
Yeah.
Just like an overlong comedy sketch. But it isn't that. It's actually quite a deep, good story.
Yeah.
It just isn't long enough. It's a shame.
Yeah.
What's the best thing about it?
Is it the concept, or is it Bob Odenkirk? It's the performance. Well, not just him. I mean,
everybody's great in it, but Bob Odenkirk.
They're good performances.
But I think it's the fact that you lay out this world and you stick with it, and the fact that they've stuck with it all the way through, and just gone, we're Cobra Kai in this.
And it seems like an obvious complaint, but we've seen it loads of times where it happens all the time. You change the rules of your own movie to suit the plot. It
sticks with it.
Literally from the introduction, we're told this is the universe we're operating in, and then it sees those rules through for the length of the movie. Which sounds like something really obvious, but there's so many times when we don't see that. Yeah,
agreed.
But there's lots to like about it. There's just not enough of it.
Yeah, agreed. Couldn't agree more. That's exactly my thoughts on it. Change the subject completely. There's Bob Odenkirk's autobiography is really good. I read that about this time last year.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
I would highly recommend checking that out.
Does he mention this movie in it?
I think he does briefly. From what it was a year ago since I read it. But check his autobiography out. It's really it's called Comedy Drama.
Can I borrow it?
Yeah, it's on my shelf.
Fine.
more than happy for you to borrow it. Yeah, it's called Comedy Drama, which is a really fun title. I really like it. It's his career. Right, shall we talk Stream Table?
Sure.
Currently, this is the 14th film going in the Stream Table. Shall I read through them all?
Yeah, let's do it.
Currently at number 13 is last week's movie Spaced Out. Currently at number 12 is Buddy Games. 11 is Here Are the Young Men. 10, Freaks, You're One of Us. 9, Mercy. 8, Sweet Girl. 7, Still Time. 6, Cadaver. 5, Catty Catty. 4, Don't Listen. 3, Against the Ice. Number 2 is The Humans, and currently at the top of the stream is Warriors of Future, my wild card for this season. Where's this one going, Nick?
I think if this is a 90-minute movie, I think we're talking potentially of... I think we're having a conversation of is this a new table topper?
Yeah. It would definitely be up there with a bit more to it.
But I don't think I can do that.
No, same.
And for me, that then sort of puts it around 5th, 6th.
Yeah.
Catty was also a short film,
Boom.
but it had an hour and 20 minutes.
Yes.
And my gut feeling is this kind of sits just under that.
Under Catty, but above Cadaver.
Yeah.
Personally, I would go the other side of Cadaver.
Okay.
I think Cadaver's a all-round better movie than this. But only for that reason.
Yeah.
Only because this isn't fleshed out enough. There's not enough to it.
Yeah, I think the only reason we're split there is because this sort of movie is more my go-to, whereas
agreed.
Cadaver is your more sort of go-to. But I think we're in about the same place, and we essentially thought we had about the same opinion of this movie.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind if you want to put it 6th or 7th.
I think Cadaver's better than this. I'd rather it went 7th.
Fine, I haven't really got a problem with that.
Okay.
There's not much. There's not much between them.
No, there's not.
I would say my enjoyment is about the same. Oh,
what was that?
That was a little hiccup.
Cool. Okay, that's that then. 7th in the stream table, mid-table, dead on mid-table.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Girlfriend's Day.
Girlfriend's Day.
September the 14th is Girlfriend's Day.
Cool. Shall we pick next week's movie?
I will pick next week's movie.
Oh, exciting! We go wild card.
For I am going to play my wild card.
Wild card.
I'm excited. I love when you play your wild card because I get to sit back and listen to you tell me about a film.
Okay. So, I wasn't sure what to go with.
Okay.
And then, so I've spent some good time this week
whilst
you've been away, narrowing down my options. And then I had the other problem where I couldn't decide between about 3 movies. But I have decided with a movie, and next week we are going to watch The Waterman.
The Waterman?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
No, neither had I. It is a kind of sci-fi mystery coming of age type movie.
Oh, sounds fun.
Yeah.
British, English, American?
It's American.
Cool.
I believe it is the directorial debut of David Oluwayo.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I'm not sure if it's a Netflix original or not.
Just looking it up now.
Yeah. But I'm quite excited to watch it.
Okay, so it says The Waterman 2020, PG, 1 hour 31 minutes. IMDb describes it as an adventure drama family fantasy movie.
There you go.
A boy sets out on a quest to save his ill mother by searching for a mythic figure said to have magical healing powers. Sounds fun. It isn't a Netflix original. It's not branded as one anyway.
Okay, fine.
That sounds good. I'm excited by that.
I think it'll be something a bit different from what
we don't do a lot of
done for
fantasy,
few
do we?
weeks.
We don't.
Yeah.
Don't really go into the fantasy genre very often. I'm excited.
Cool.
Cool. Good. Well played.
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully.
We will see.
So yeah, go out and watch The Waterman. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com, and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On our website, you'll find every episode we've ever recorded, all the streams tables, loads of other cool stuff. And if you want, you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Greetings card.
We did do them for a while.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Cool. After you've done all of that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there, for £5 of your English pounds every month, you will get early access to the movie show episodes. You will get loads of cool stuff. You get a poster. You will get exclusive access into the Discord, into one of our Discord rooms that's just you, me, and the Patreons.
Yes.
And you will also get a wild card, which means you can do what Nick's just done, play a wild card, try and pick the best film of the season. And if you do, you will win a prize. And then when you've done all of that, head over to the Discord. The Discord is a group of fun-loving, fun people who love talking about movies, and they will actually talk about literally anything. We play games. We do a watch-along every month. First Sunday of every month we do it is our watch-along night. Loads of cool stuff goes on in the Discord. It's a really great community of people. So come and join us. The Discord link will be in the bottom of the show notes.
Do you know what? You'll just make some friends.
You will. At least 2.
At least me and Ad here.
Yeah.
And look, there's plenty of others. Yeah.
Lots of cool guys.
Yeah. Like, are they all cool?
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Fine. If you can spare a few minutes, please consider leaving us a review or rating anywhere you can review or rate podcasts. We're on all of those places. That is places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Podchaser, all of them. There's loads of them. There's hundreds. We're on them all.
We really are.
And everything even technically went smoothly this week.
It did, and I wasn't even in the house to do it. It just did it on its own. It was great.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks we've had a few upload issues.
We have.
With like half an episode turning up.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Apologies for it happening.
It's not our fault.
It's not our fault, and we are looking into it as we speak. But I have found a way to check it before the episode comes out now, so hopefully we should be okay. It shouldn't happen again. So yeah, go and do all of that, what we've just talked about, and then go out and watch The Waterman, Nick's wildcard for season 9. And we'll be back on Monday for The Wave and next Thursday for The Movie Show.
Cheers!
Bye!